This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Thursday, the 30th day of April in the year 2020. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight, and we begin tonight with some sad news. 3 members of the Guyana Defense Force were killed on the spot this morning when pyrotechnic material exploded as it was being prepared for destruction at the GDF base camp Stevenson at Tamari. The 3 dead soldiers have been identified as 23-year-old Lance Corporal Kevon Nicholson of New Amsterdam, 28-year-old Lance Corporal Tony Pinu of Oriala Village, and 20-year-old Private Shaquille DeHart of West Coast Berbice. 2 other soldiers were injured. One remains hospitalized at the Georgetown Hospital, while the other was treated at the GDF base at Tamari. The explosion and deaths are now the subject of a board inquiry by the Guyana Defense Force. The incident occurred around 9 o'clock this morning, and persons in the Tamari area reported hearing the loud explosion and seeing a section of the military base covered in smoke. The 3 soldiers who died appeared to have been killed instantly by the blast. Their clothes were burnt off their bodies, and their faces and upper bodies were completely scorched. The fire service assisted in dousing the area that exploded, and the GDF's helicopter was used to transport one of the injured ranks to the city. In a statement this afternoon, President David Granger expressed his sympathy and said he is saddened by the loss of life. He also offered his condolences to the family of the 3 soldiers. This is the second time within 2 months that a pyrotechnic blast has resulted in fatalities for the military. Back in February, 1 soldier was killed and at least 8 others injured as they were preparing pyrotechnic material for a fireworks display. A board of inquiry was also launched after that incident, but the outcome of that investigation has never been made known. News source understands that there is growing concern and unease in the Guyana Defense Force about the storage and removal of pyrotechnic and other explosive type material that have been locked away for years. A senior military source has expressed concern to news source that there is a storage of a large quantity of similar material at another military base that was the scene for a similar explosion several years ago. That explosion also claimed a number of lives. The officers said the GDF may now need to involve more technical help for the removal and destruction of the aged material. More news coming up in just a moment.
Parents and guardians, you are encouraged to tune in to the Guyana Learning Channel, Cable 29 or Channel 42 for daily educational and interactive learning sessions. The nursery program airs from 6 hours to 9 hours. Primary programs from 9 hours to 12 noon. We also air informative documentaries from 12 noon to 13 hours, and our secondary level programs are aired from 13 hours to 15 hours. Please continue to listen to our radio broadcasts. The interactive radio instruction for grades 1 to 3 daily on Voice of Guyana from 9 hours 30 to 10 hours for grade 1 pupils, from 10 hours 30 to 11 hours for grade 2s, and 13 hours to 13 hours 30 for grade 3 pupils. Please remember to tune in to benefit from these educational opportunities. A message from the Ministry of Education.
GBTI is your Guyanese bank, a bank that understands every customer's unique needs, opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. At GBTI, we see you for you. Whether you're buying a new home or car, planning your next vacation or retirement, saving for your child's future, or whether you're ready to take that bold step of investing in your dream business idea, we are with you every step of the way. We hear your stories and watch you focus on your dreams as we share your aspirations. We are more than just banking. We are a family. We are part of your community. Our commitment extends way beyond the walls of our branches and is demonstrated every day in the opportunities we provide to our individual and business customers. The support, time, and commitment we give back to communities across Guyana to help improve the lives of our Guyanese families. Because we see Guyana through your eyes.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Tired of long lines? Register with MyGTT at mygtt.co.gy. That's mygtt.co.gy to view and pay your bills from anywhere. Enter to win an Amazon gift card worth $25 or a bounty voucher worth 5,000 Guyana dollars when you sign up today. GTT, do more.
A face mask only works if it is put on, used, and removed properly. Before putting on a face mask, please do remember to wash your hands with adequate soap and water for at least 20 seconds, or use a hand sanitizer with 60% or more alcohol. This is an N95 face mask. Check your mask for holes and tears. Identify the top of the mask. Cup the mask in the palm of your hand with the metal strip at your fingertips and the elastic bands hanging loosely. Position the mask under your chin and covering your nose. Place the lower strap behind your neck. It must touch your neck. Place the upper strap to the top of your head. Untwist the straps. Use both hands to mold the shape of the nose piece by pushing downward and outward. Perform a fit check by checking the mask to see if there are any air leaks. Do not lower your mask to speak. You must not touch the front of your mask. If you do, then wash your hands immediately. When removing the face mask, remove the bottom elastic from behind, then the top elastic, ensuring that the elastic straps do not snap. Once again, do not touch the front of the mask. Throw the mask away in a bin with cover. Do not forget to wash your hands immediately. Remember, if your mask gets damp, replace it.
Welcome back. A 67-year-old man has become the 9th person to die from the coronavirus in Guyana. He passed away last evening in the coronavirus intensive care unit at the Georgetown Hospital. His name has been given as Samuel Morris. He was housed in the ICU for several days and reportedly suffered from other pre-existing medical conditions. Guyana recorded its last COVID-19 related death 6 days ago. The first death was recorded on the 11th of March. That person was also the first case of the virus in Guyana. 7 of the 9 deaths are men, and according to the Public Health Ministry, more men are being affected by the coronavirus than women. The Public Health Ministry has also been warning persons who suffer from hypertension and diabetes to take extra precautions against the coronavirus, since they are at a higher risk of serious complications if they contract the deadly virus. Diabetic and hypertensive patients have been told to closely follow the guidelines of the health authorities and to keep in regular contact with their doctors for any advice that they may need. The Public Health Ministry is also encouraging citizens to step forward and submit themselves for testing if they have any of the symptoms of the coronavirus. Mobile testing sites have been set up in Georgetown, along the east bank of the Marara, and along the east coast of the Marara. A number of private health institutions have also been given the green light to conduct their own coronavirus tests. Well, moments after the Public Health Ministry confirmed that Guyana has recorded its 9th coronavirus-related death, it reported that the country has also recorded 4 new cases of the coronavirus. With those 4 new cases being recorded within the past 24 hours, it would mean that 8 new cases have been recorded so far for this week alone. Public Health Minister Valda Lawrence, in her daily update today, revealed that a total of 22 persons have completely recovered from the coronavirus so far. There are now 51 active cases.
For today, we are reporting 4 new cases, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 82. The number of persons recovered thus far has increased to 22. However, we have recorded another COVID-19 death, bringing the total to 9. 579 persons have been tested, of whom 497 are negative. There are 2 persons in our COVID-19 ICU, 18 in our institutional quarantine, and 51 in isolation.
Minister Lawrence also reported that Camberville, East Rhymeville, Guyhawk Park, Lodge, All Boys Town, and Ling Avenue are the other areas in the city that are seen as hotspots for the coronavirus. Yesterday, she listed a number of other communities in South and North Georgetown as areas where they have noticed the most cases of the virus coming from. Georgetown is considered the epicenter of the coronavirus in Guyana. Well, let's tell you now that the government has ordered that the national emergency measures that are in place to fight the coronavirus remain until the 3rd of June. The measures were expected to expire this Sunday, but with a number of coronavirus cases still climbing, the Public Health Ministry recommended that a curfew and other measures be extended by 1 month. With the extended measures, the international airports will remain closed, only allowing cargo, medical, and specially authorized flights to operate. That could mean a bigger headache for hundreds of Guyanese who are stuck in the US and other parts of the world and want to come home. There are over 200 Guyanese workers on cruise ships who are still hoping that some consideration will be given to them and they be allowed to return home on a special flight. There are also students in Cuba and other parts of the Caribbean who have indicated a need to come home. The extended measures also mean that non-essential businesses will have to remain closed, and those that are allowed to be open will have to follow the strict timelines for their opening hours. Additionally, churches and other religious organizations will not be allowed to conduct services. Only funeral services and weddings with a small number of persons will be allowed. The national curfew will remain in place with increased efforts to ensure persons remain off the road between the hours of 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. daily. Well, the government today signed an order that allows the compulsory acquisition of the Ocean View Hotel property. The property will be transformed into a national sanatorium for the treatment of COVID-19 patients and related illnesses. The order, which has been gazetted, declares the construction of the National Sanatorium a public work. News source understands that with the compulsory acquisition of the property, the government will be taking over full ownership at an agreed price. The move comes as the number of coronavirus cases in Guyana continues to climb, and there is worry about whether the current facilities being used will be able to adequately cater for the special care and treatment of persons with the coronavirus and other related illnesses. Work on the Ocean View Hotel started weeks ago with the removal of the roof for a complete replacement and the gutting of the entire building as it is being transformed into a hospital facility. The project is likely to cost hundreds of millions of dollars. With the start of the national recount of votes hinged on the arrival of the CARICOM high-level team, the People's Progressive Party Civic is hoping to get a meeting with the Elections Commission before the process gets on the way. At a virtual press conference today, the General Secretary for the PPP, Bharat Jagdeo, played down reports that his party was contemplating a move to the courts to challenge the recount. He said there will be no such move, but the party remains concerned about the transparency of the process.
We're not challenging, we don't have any intention of challenging a recount that we fought for. We continue to have grave concerns about its transparency, given that the chair has voted on several issues with the rigors at GCOM, and the cabal still exists there that may try something. But the good thing is that the international community has remained resolved and our party agents will be there.
The PPP is still pushing for the recount to be live streamed. It was one of the positions put forward by both the party and the observer group, the Private Sector Commission. The Elections Commission has already shut down any public live streaming, but the chair of the commission has been looking at a request for the process to be live streamed to observers who may not be present for the actual recount when it begins. Today, officials from the GCOM Secretariat continued with their preparation plans at the Arthur Chung Convention Center, where the official recount will take place. GCOM has set a 25-day timeline for the completion of the process. Turning now to the police blotter. 5 months after a wanted bulletin was issued for his arrest, police investigators have caught murder suspect Lennox Estwick. The 23-year-old man was arrested early this morning in a house at Lovers Lane, Amelia's Ward in Linden. Estwick was wanted for the murder of gold miner Dion Stull, who was gunned down during a robbery outside a gold buying company in Campbellville last October. In a statement this morning, the Guyana Police Force said that based on information, ranks swooped down on the house in Linden, where they found the wanted man. An unlicensed pistol, 4 live rounds, and a quantity of marijuana were also found in the house. The suspect's 21-year-old brother was also found at the property, and he too was taken into custody. Estwick is no stranger to law enforcement. He was previously charged for being in possession of military items and was also fingered in gang-related activities in the town, although charges were never filed against him for any gang-related crime. Just after the gunning down of the gold miner back in October, a wanted bulletin was issued for Estwick, as a number of other persons were charged and appeared in court in connection with the same murder. Estwick is expected to be transferred to Georgetown to face questioning and likely charges. One of 4 prisoners who escaped from the Luziknan prison's holding bay 2 Sundays ago has been recaptured. 24-year-old Saisnarine Bisnot was arrested last night without incident in the cane field behind Betavawacting Sideline Dam on the east coast of Demerara. A police report said he was found in possession of a cutlass. Bisnot was behind bars on remand for robbery and armed robbery. He will now face the additional charge of escaping from prison. 3 other prisoners who escaped along with Bisnot are still on the run. Investigators are still hunting for 26-year-old Anthony Padmore of Betavawacting East Coast Demerara, who was recently sentenced to 3 years in jail for marijuana trafficking. They're also looking for 26-year-old Ken Raul Perez of Mabaruma. He was on remand for murder. And 32-year-old Ganesh Danraj from Parika is also wanted. He was on remand for the murder of his wife. Investigators are following a number of leads that they hope will lead to the arrest of the other escapees. The 4 men escaped from the Luziknan prison's holding bay during a heavy downpour by scaling the prison fence. Guards on duty only realized the men had escaped during the morning roll call, more than 3 hours later. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of the remaining 3 escapees is asked to contact the nearest police station or call 911. Across the region is coming up next.
Wondering how you can access free learning materials for your children? Parents and guardians, please visit the Ministry of Education's website at www.education.gov.gy to access textbooks, past papers, and practice tests to keep your child engaged in continuous learning. When you have accessed the site, go to the Students tab, wait for a second, and choose the appropriate option. You now have access to the resources you need. You are encouraged to take advantage of this opportunity as we strive to provide the best education for the nation's children. A message from the Ministry of Education.
They've made a positive impact on the heavy-duty transportation industry in Guyana since they've arrived. Guyanese are amazed at their power, durability, efficiency, and superior handling capabilities. These are brand new trucks, manufactured in partnership with German, Italian, and French companies. They have a powerful reputation for operating under very adverse Guyanese conditions and come with full after-sales service and spare parts. They're the most sought-after trucks today, with over 500 units in Guyana, and they're available in over 100 countries, including South America and the Caribbean. Be smart. Buy brand new ST Howo trucks today. Call 608-4998 and arrange for an inspection at ST Truck Guyana Incorporated, Block B, Public Road, Covenant, East Bank, Demerara.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Falls, a trademark of China's Zhanghao Incorporated, located at Land of Cane in East Bank, Demerara, was incorporated in April of 2013, with over $10 billion Guyana dollars invested in a state-of-the-art 100,000-barrel fuel storage facility, a modern service station, an office complex, and a modern wharf that can berth international vessels. Having no association with any other fuel company, Falls imports its own fuel, which meets quality specifications, has all the legal permits, and is in compliance with international requirements. Its bulk facility can load 8 trucks simultaneously at a rate of 1,000 liters per minute, while the service station can service 12 cars at a time using computerized fuel pumps which can facilitate the use of ATM cards. Through its professional team of mostly Guyanese, Falls wholesales and retails fuels to the public, including farmers and miners, and will continue to positively contribute to Guyana by providing quality products, service, and attractive prices. Try Falls today for all your fuel needs.
A face mask only works if it is put on, used, and removed properly. This is a surgical mask. Before putting on a face mask, you must wash your hands properly with adequate soap and water for at least 20 seconds, or use a hand sanitizer with 60% or more alcohol. Before putting on your face mask, you should also check your mask for holes and tears, and remember to identify the top of the mask. The top of the mask has a metal strip. Put the mask on by holding the 2 elastic loops. Place one loop on one ear at a time. Pull the bottom of the mask to cover your mouth and chin. Place the mask over your nose. Pinch the stiff edge of the mask to the shape of your nose. Remember, do not pull down your mask while in use. Do not touch your mask while in use. If you do, please wash your hands immediately. To remove the face mask, hold the elastic loops from the back of your ear, pull them apart, do not snap, and pull it downwards. Then place in a bin with cover. Do not forget that as soon as you take off that face mask, you need to wash your hands immediately. Also, replace your mask once damp.
Across the region right now, the Executive Secretary of the United Nations Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, Alicia Barcena, says borrowing is not an option for Caribbean countries, stating that access to concessional funding and debt relief is needed to face the novel coronavirus pandemic. ECLAC said Caribbean heads of state and finance ministers met virtually with Barcena on Wednesday to analyze debt relief proposals and other measures to fight the effects of the pandemic. Barcena said Caribbean countries must increase their fiscal space, and they need more favorable financing conditions to assist in fighting the coronavirus. While Brazil registered a record 6,276 new cases of the coronavirus on Wednesday, it already has the largest number of infections in all of Latin America, with 79,685 total confirmed cases and more than 5,500 deaths. President Jair Bolsonaro has downplayed the threat posed by the virus. Asked by reporters for comment after the death toll passed the 5,000 mark on Tuesday, the president said, "So what? He's sorry, and he can't do anything about that." One of the most affected cities has been Manaus in the Amazon. The city's mayor has said that they are preparing to hold more than 4,000 funerals in the month of May, 4 times the usual number. And finally, at this time, international news. The U.S. city of Los Angeles is offering free coronavirus tests to all residents, regardless of whether they are displaying any symptoms. Mayor Eric Garcetti made the announcement just hours after Los Angeles County reported its largest daily increase in new COVID-19 cases. Until now, only essential workers and those displaying symptoms could receive tests due to a scarcity of kits. It comes as California is expected to close all beaches across the state. Los Angeles County currently accounts for almost half of California's confirmed coronavirus cases. The state has so far reported more than 48,000 cases, with more than 1,900 deaths. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting.